If you were following along with me in the previous lesson, we generated our master project. It created a table of contents using the default skin. You can see the look and feel here for navigating. We have table of contents books created based on our child projects, but when we go to click these links, they don't actually work. Windows Internet Explorer is having difficulty finding the files, so we have to make sure the path or internet address is correct. Well, in our case, it's the path. The child projects need to be generated or published to the right location, and that's what we're going to do right now. So we'll close up our browser and we'll go to our first child project. Now you can't just jump to this lesson. If you haven't completed the previous lesson, you won't be able to follow along with me. If you did follow along with me in the previous lesson, you're ready to go by opening up each of the child projects. For example, General Info here, which is opened up from the 0302 subfolder if you were following along in the last lesson. And in this case, we're going to generate it by going down to Web Help. That's the format or layout we've been using. When we right-click and choose Generate, now we need to choose the appropriate location. So in this case, we'll click our Browse button, and we'll go to the location where we generated our master project because a merged projects folder was created for us. So in this case, I generated mine to the desktop. It's called How to Use LDC. I double-click that folder, and I'm going to see an SSL folder. Double-click that one, and I'll see where I generated my Web Help project. So double-click the Web Help folder, and you will see that Merged Projects folder. Double-clicking it shows you that you do have placeholders or folders for each of your child projects. Now in this case, we're looking at General Info. This is the project we're generating. You can see it in the background here. So that's the folder where we want to generate it to. So we'll double click that. Notice it's going to create a file name. Our index will be our home page. And when we click Save and then click Save and Generate, we'll actually be generating it to the correct location. So we don't necessarily want to see the results of this final product. We can click Done. But when we go back to our master project, so we'll close this up, and make sure you're looking at the howtoUseLynda.com project or how to use LDC. We'll regenerate that one by going down to Web Help, right-click, select Generate. Again, you can choose your location. I like the desktop, and when I click Save and Generate this time and view the result, it opens up my default browser. Looks the same as before, but now when I click General Info, look at that. It knows where to find that particular child project, and it displays the contents. When I click the link for general information, I have different pages I can go to by clicking them. So everything works properly now. I can close this up when I'm done. Repeat the process for navigation and courses. You'll be able to click those links as well. And when you're done viewing, simply close up the browser to return to the master project. So that's all there is to actually generating your master project and making sure your child projects are referenced properly. Next, we're going to talk about managing those merged projects.